So hello everybody on the ball, welcome from Neuburg, the home of Audi Motorsport. And when I say warm, I mean warm. It's a hot day today in Germany, but this is exactly what we expect from the Rally Dakar in January in Saudi Arabia. Today is a very important day on our road to Dakar, because we like to unveil our car, which was built up in record speed in less than 12 months. We started from scratch, and today we like to present you our new Rally Dakar model. Testing has already started. We were testing last week in the north of Germany, and we go to Spain next week. And that means that we in between the testings, and so we use this day to present our new car. And I'm not alone today. With me is Molly Petit, and I would like to introduce her a little bit. Most of you know her from the WRC or from the Rallycross, and that's where we know her from. He was part of the EKS team, and we all thought it would be a nice idea to be reunited with her, and so we invite Molly to present our car today. Molly, it's up to you.
Thank you very much, Stefan. It's a huge honor to be a part of this presentation because I think this project is incredibly exciting, so innovative, and the start of something new that's never been done with before. With my background in rallying and racing, I've always admired Audi Sport, and I have so much respect for the success that they have achieved over the years. This project started less than a year ago with the first concept ideas. A lot of things have happened since then. Q Motorsport has come on board as a partner, and Audi Sport was able to sign an incredible driver and co-driver lineup for the Dakar Rally. We've prepared a brief film for you to show what's happened so far on the road to Rally Dakar. What a lineup. I believe this team has all the necessary ingredients to be successful at the Dakar Rally. But of course, to do so, they need the right tools, the car. And I can tell you, I've seen the car and it looks incredible. And it's got a name, Audi RS Q e-tron. And I think this says it all. RS stands for the most sporty road cars built by Audi Sport. Q stands for the range of Audi Sport utility vehicles. E-tron is a name for all electric drive concepts at Audi. But who could describe for you the thinking behind this unconventional project better than Julius Serbach, Managing Director of Audi Sport and responsible for the motorsport projects of Audi AG.
Today, we unveil the Audi RS Q e-tron, the latest and technologically most sophisticated vehicle Audi Sport has ever developed for racing. Audi has always pushed the boundaries to do things in motorsport that nobody else dared to do before. The Audi Quattro was a game changer for the World Rally Championship. Audi was the first brand to win Le Mans 24 Hours with an electrified powertrain. Now, we want to begin a new era at the Dakar Rally. Our Audi RS Q e-tron was created from a blank sheet of paper in record time, and it stands for Vorsprung durch Technik. Making things possible that many think are impossible. That's what progress means to me, and our customers once again will benefit from what we'll be learning with this project. The future of mobility is electric. Audi was one of the first car manufacturers to compete in Formula E. For us, electromobility is no longer a vision of the future. It's the present, our daily life. For example, our first fully electric high-performance model, the Audi RS e-tron GT, has been available on the market since the beginning of the year. The Dakar Rally offers us the opportunity to break new grounds. It's about presenting and developing our technology under the most extreme conditions. The Audi RS Q e-tron will have to master different surfaces, bumps, jumps, water crossings, and a lot of sand and dunes. In addition, the event lasts almost 2 weeks. Up to 800 kilometers are covered every day. sometimes even more. And that is the ultimate test for the technology. Entrepreneurial courage has always paid off for Audi. And I'm convinced that this also will be the case at the Dakar Rally. I trust in our engineering skills and the ability to make things possible that many consider impossible. One of the key factors to enter cross-country rallying and the Dakar Rally is the freedom of the technical regulations. For example, unlike in Formula E, we can use our own battery technology. The battery technology and the energy management offer the greatest potential in e-mobility. The concept we've chosen for the Dakar Rally is very complex, and the time to prepare for our first event in January 2022 is very challenging. I'm pleased with what our engineers and designers have produced in less than 12 months since the project was conceived. I would like to thank everybody involved in this very ambitious project. To me personally, the car looks stunning, and I'm sure you will be pleased the same way.
And here it is, the brand new Audi RSQ e-tron. What an impressive car. It kind of looks like it's come from out of this world, from Mars maybe. And here is one of the crews, Mattias Ekström, Emil Bergqvist. Mattias, you have a lot of impressive cars on your CV, but what are your thoughts on this one?
I think this it speaks a lot for itself. If you look on this car, my instant thing was that it's so wide, but also the aerodynamic effort that's put in and the design. I think it looks super aggressive.
And what do you think it will be like to drive?
I actually tried, so I know it handles a bit like a rallycross car. Its center of gravity is so low, so it handles very, very good. Very little roll, very little pitch, and yeah, it's difficult to imagine such big car be driving that good, but it was a little bit of a surprise, but I enjoyed every meter.
And Emil, you will be co-driving this car. What are your first impressions?
It's really cool to see the car like this. I mean, look, it's amazing. On the first test, it was really nice to be with the electric drivetrain. It's for me really impressive.
And you've been at the Dakar Rally once before with Mattias. What are the biggest challenges for a co-driver?
I mean, for sure to find the right way is sometimes really difficult when you go in speed. But you know, we have to find a good way to work together, and so far I think we have done it.
And there is so much technology under this carbon skin. I need to have a little look at my notes now, Mattias, because there is so much to get right here. 3 MGUs from the current Formula E car, a high voltage battery developed by Audi Sport, an energy converter which includes the highly efficient and successful DTM engine, and a whole lot more. Did I get that right?
Yeah, I'm quite impressed, because when you look on the car from outside, it looks like a high-tech machine, but it's actually more high-tech under the bonnet. You know, the e-motors from Formula E, one on the front, one on the back, makes the car drive really great. You don't have any gear change, so no gearbox, so instant power when you hit the gas. And also when we are braking, we can use the recuperation also to control the differentials, to have this software center differential. So from the drivability, that's really cool.
And it looks incredible, very impressive, this technology as well. I guess we could talk about this car for ages, but there is one man who knows a lot more than all of us, and that is Andreas Roos, the project leader for all factory racing project at Audi Sport, including the Dakar Rally. He takes us behind the scenes of the development of this car, which has been quite a step for Audi Sport after so many years in circuit racing.
One of the biggest milestones for us is to show and prove that the electric-driven car can win one of the toughest races and the longest races in motorsport, the Rally Dakar. To be honest, when I first heard about going into the desert, I said, wow, that's something completely new for us. With the design phase and the concept, we started around June, August 2020. We had to really start from scratch, except with our partner QMS, who had already a lot of success in the Dakar, but with the new project, it's something completely different. There was no real regulation existing for a new fully electric driven concept car like we have. With ASO and also FIA had to define the regulations. Everything what you develop, you have to really think in your head, will this last? Will this be possible? I mean, in the past we did our 24-hour car for Le Mans, which had to last for 24 hours, but now we have to have a car which basically has to last 14 days in the desert. All our departments are involved, from the aero development, the chassis, suspension, everyone, engine, the electric department, our MGU, battery development. So basically the whole crew from whole Audi Sport, everybody is involved in the complete design process. Weight is always a topic, especially when you have the battery, or with our concept you have the 3 MGUs in the car, 2 to drive the car and 1 for the generator to charge the battery at the end. And then we also have our combustion engine. But all these parts are developed for road racing, and their weight is always a topic. So these are all parts which are already designed, let's say, to be on the minimum weight what we can achieve. We learn so much at the moment in this project, and this is why we have to collect now a lot of data first to see if we developed in the correct direction. We really have some very experienced drivers in our lineup. They are also very important in the development phase. How you drive the car, how you have to feel in the car, especially now in the testing phase, but already before. Then we do the next step and analyze the data in test to see where we can go quicker or where we can get faster with the car to do also some improvements in terms of performance. We are able to really have the latest and greatest parts, let's say, from efficiency, from technology in the car, and really can show what we are able to do. And at the end, when you see the car, just how it looks, it's really amazing. And we are really looking forward to get the car into the desert finally and hopefully be successful and be on the top step at the end at one stage at the Rally Dakar.
Matthias, your path has been a bit similar. You've spent most of your career in DTM and then you went to Rallycross and now the Dakar Rally. Is there anything you can take from your experience in circuit racing over to the Dakar Rally?
Yeah, there is actually quite a lot of things. Today Dakar Rally looks like a long endurance race, which it is, but you really have to focus a lot more on the competition as well, because the pace everybody carries through the desert is really impressive. So you have to break everything down into detail, and that, I would say, experience I have from the circuit racing. So for sure I can bring a lot of that attitude to the project.
Thanks, Matthias. But now let's get some more details about the unusual drivetrain of the Audi RSQ e-tron. We've been speaking to Stefan Dreyer, the head of development for all motorsport projects at Audi Sport.
Imagine we are coming from round track racing. We pretty much know the racetracks, we know the surface, we know the racing format, we know the competitors. A lot of time is spent in the simulators trying to prepare as good as possible. The car, to me, for us being developers, it's almost like, you know, a pirate's treasure. You open it up and you don't really know what to expect. Before we even thought about the car, we at Audi Sport Racing asked ourselves the question, how could the future powertrain look like? And this is why we came up with what we call the energy converter concept, which is scalable and really adapts to every use case in racing. The car has an electronic drive unit on each axle. They are identical and they are not mechanically linked. There is, let's say a mid differential, which is simulated per software. The energy for the e-drives comes either from the high voltage battery or the energy converter. The energy for the battery comes from, brake recuperation or the energy converter. And the energy converter itself consists of a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, which we developed for DTM, and that is directly linked to a generator. And that generator, by the way, is also a drive system from the Formula E. So actually there are 3 in the car. And all those components, very complex, are obviously controlled and linked with the vehicle control unit, the VCU we have in the car. The e-drive were developed for Formula E. So they are state-of-the-art, highly efficient, system efficiency greater 97%. We did a few adaptations on the cooling side, a few adaptations on how the system is integrated in the car, some changes on the internals, but only for robustness reasons. And yeah, of course, the software, we always work on the software. Thinking about the car, the jumps, digging into the sand, hitting stuff, stones, holes, etc. I think all components will be stressed extremely. You have hot days, cool nights, you have high altitude. The energy management has to deal with all those situations which can't be foreseen. And I think that will be one of the biggest challenges in the whole project. When you look at the car, just by looking at it, you'll see Vorsprung durch Technik.
Well, this sounds very sophisticated and like a huge adventure. Matthias, when you've been driving DTM but also rallycross, you're quite used to mechanics, basically fixing everything you break. That's not quite the case in the Dakar Rally, especially when you're out there. How much do you have to repair on your own?
I really hope I have to repair nothing, because if I have to repair, that means I've broken something. So you have to drive really fast in Dakar, but also very smart. So if you go too aggressive, especially in the rough areas, you will break something. But on that, if I will break something, I'm also quite happy that I have this interest of being a little bit of a hobby mechanic. So over my entire career, I've always been interested. So yeah. Today my skin is not ready for it to do it full time, but in emergency I'm sure I will manage to repair what I've been destroying.
Because the car is very complex. How are you trained to repair broken parts, and what can you do by yourself?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to suspension part, it's easy to see what is broken. So just try and replace a piece which we have in the car. We have a toolkit, we have some bolts and nuts and so on. But if there will be something else that needs servicing, you need a laptop, you need cables and so on, then it's for sure much more difficult. I think this is also something I really like about the car, as it's so long. You have to treat your car as your best friend, because if you treat it bad, you will pay the bill. Maybe not instantly, but over the rally.
I like that, best friend.
Yeah.
The partner of Audi Sport in this project is Q Motorsport, run by Sven Quandt. This team combines a lot of experience and success at the Dakar Rally, and team principal Sven Quandt knows all about what it takes to win the Dakar Rally.
It's a fascinating vehicle, for sure. It's a very, very complex. I have to say it's probably one of the most complex cars I've seen in my life. It's a little bit like going to the moon, because I can consider that the people who designed the rocket to go to the moon didn't know what they have to expect, and it's the same for us, I think, today as well. You can be the fastest car, but you will be not able to win if you don't have reliability. You can have the best driver, without reliability he will be nowhere. So first you have to finish before you can finish first, and in this case first you have to finish. Forget all the rest. The rest will come as a nice present. We tried to make the car service friendly. But obviously with so many electric engines, wiring lumens, fuel tanks, battery and all of this, there's a lot more in this car than on a standard car, and that is a big difference. If you have to change, then it's a lot of work, obviously. All the crew has to go through a special training, but then to do it out in the field, we have to train again and train again that they are able to do things. Yes, they can change sensors, but we made a lot redundant to have not those problems. The rest we have to see. It will be completely different from before. Before you got out of the car, you were able to change some cables, a battery, something like this, even a servo motor. Here it's all more complicated. First you have to run the car down, make it safe, and then to start. So the safety procedure we have to train them is huge. If you want to prove something in motorsports, I think this is the racing you have to take. So you have lots of kilometers every day. It's the most difficult terrain you do. If it can survive this, I think it can go everywhere.
You've already been there once to learn about the event. What was the most challenging for you during that time, and how does the Dakar Rally differ from circuit racing and rallycross?
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise I got is how rough the road can be from time to time. So that is not the setup which is the limit, it's actually your body. So maybe not necessarily your fitness, but when you drive over stony roads, it starts to shake and vibrate and you get really tired. And then going to bed at night, sometimes it's the tiredness of the eyes which is the limiting factor. So it's not necessarily the big muscles you would actually think of. So it's a very complex sport, and then over 5, 6, 8 days you go like, it would be nice to sleep long tomorrow. No, it's nothing with sleep long. So it's an ongoing thing, and you really have to mind your habits of eating, sleeping and drinking to make sure you keep your energy at the right level all the time.
Sounds tough.
It is tough, but it's also something everybody who are there, they really love it. So you have to be very fit for sure, but mentally and physically.
Right, back to the car. What do you think of the design?
I think it's very aggressive. It looks, you know, compared to other cars I've seen in this sport, it's just different level. And when I look on it, it looks a bit like you took the LMP technology from Audi and somehow made it fit into a rally raid car. And then for sure the colors of this car also make it even more outstanding. But again, when I see all the lines and all the aero, and this is super impressive. And when you sit in the car, you have no idea what it looks like, because you just see and focus out the windscreen, look out the side windows. So, but when I see how people in general think it looks, it's super aggressive.
It's also quite interesting to listen to the designers and their ideas about the car and the livery. The Audi design team has been in charge of this, and we've also had a chat with them.
To have the opportunity to work on such a car is probably on every designer's bucket list.
For a designer, when you can draw big wheels, small cabin and short overhand, this is the dream come true. I thought this car has to be unique.
In Dakar, cars are followed mainly by helicopters, and that was one of the reasons why we went for a sort of coupe-like silhouette with this quite smooth rear end.
And then we have these massive fenders to describe this quattro concept that we use on the road car. It was really difficult to match these beautiful shapes on this technical package. The rolling chassis has huge wheels.
The fin, we felt it makes a connection to Le Mans and Audi's present Le Mans. It's a very distinctive feature. It's helping to also integrate the very large cooling which is on top of the roof. Of course, you have a Audi single frame, and also the lights are very Audi. It's different from the other cars, which tend to be quite blocky, quite boxy. So I think this gives something new from Audi, and it also ties together the influence which the road cars have, for example, the sportbacks.
It's really important. We are talking about racing and winning a race. This is not a concourse of elegance that we are showing the nicer car. So we push together, and we finally, I think we are all happy.
Well, I guess we have a lot to learn about this incredible project and the new Audi RSQ e-tron. Now, Matthias, what is next up? Is there a lot of testing?
Yeah, all the projects, it's all in the preparation. So we have a really exciting test program coming. And of course, there are different things which has different priorities. So yeah, it comes down to the software programming so that I would say this, what you can't see, works in all the ECUs. Then it's suspension to make sure the car can handle the roughness. And then is the last most exciting one is to do a lot of kilometers to see if we have a spotless car or if we have some small things we have to improve for the rally. So you can actually divide the test into 3 levels.
Thank you so much, Matthias. It has been a huge pleasure to host this brief show and the launch of this brand new car. I hope you've enjoyed the presentation. You'll find all the films you've seen, photos and background information in the Audi Media Center. If you do have any additional questions, please do not hesitate to contact Stefan Moser or Virginia Brush from the team of Audi Motorsport Communications. Thank you for watching and see you soon.